You wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Bring It Back. This being a show where we talk about TV shows that were canceled and or short-lived that we'd like to see get brought back in some shape or form. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the NBC series Good Girls. Now, really quickly, if you're unfamiliar with Good Girls, it's this comedy crime drama where you have these three mothers, Beth, Annie, and Ruby. Beth and Annie being siblings, basically are all in their respective lives are in like financial straits, and it's like, right, we need money, and they're so desperate that they decide to rob the grocery store that Annie works at, which they bumble their way through it, but it's still kind of a successful job. Granted, there are a lot of mistakes along the way, like I said, bumbling, but sadly they end up finding out that that grocery store was actually laundering money for a gang, in particular, very recurring main character that is Rio, and now they are stuck, laundering money for him. It's just one criminal act as another, and just like shenanigans ensue as they're trying to balance their lives, doing all this criminal stuff for Rio, trying to find a way out, but also making enough money to support their respective family situations. Ruby with her husband Stan, her daughter who has like a kidney situation, Annie who has like the complicated life with like her ex and her child, and it's like, right, like I need to make sure my child knows I can take care of my child, because she hasn't always been in the most financial stable life, and just especially with her relationships. And then Beth balancing like her husband Dean, who's got the whole complicated thing of he's done some super shady stuff, like cheating on her while also draining a lot of their bank account. That's a whole thing. And so taking care of their kids, so balancing all of that. Beth especially, it's a combination of it's a little Ozark, it's a little Breaking Bad, but also having its own flavor, especially with the comedy aspects, because it's legitimately a fun, funny, but also dramatic show. So it is a great show that sadly was recently canceled after its fourth season. So the series finale literally just aired a couple episodes ago a couple days ago at the time of me recording this, and it's a real bummer because the show ends off on a way you're like, dude, you could tell it was you need maybe one more season to wrap things up. And whether they had plans for more, who knows, but I think one more season is all that's necessary, especially when you read that they were trying to pitch for a fifth and final season to get picked up at Netflix, but sadly that didn't end up happening. And because of because once again, it's that weird situation, kind of very similar to Manifest, where it's it has to be in this small window of time, and if Netflix passes on it, it doesn't seem like any other network's going to pick it up, which is a bummer. I hope there's something around that. I don't know if Netflix is ever in a position where they go, all right, we'll change our mind. I don't see that happening. I don't think they still never changed their mind about Manifest, at least I don't believe. So I highly doubt they'll do the same with Good Girls, but I want them to. It doesn't even have to be a full season. I feel like you could skirt by with a 10 episode or 13 episode final season, because I think the first season of Good Girls was 13 episodes if I'm not mistaken. So kind of capping it off like that would be, but I wouldn't want it to be a super short season. I would want it to be, if they could go the full 16, I'm okay with that, but I definitely see where the story is, that they could definitely go with maybe a 10 or 13 episode arc. But I want this story to have a resolution, because certain aspects of the show you're okay, you like the direction they're going, that they could leave off there, but there's so much other stuff unresolved as well, the family dynamics, the current circumstances. I don't want to get into spoilers territories for anyone that hasn't seen it, but come on, I need this show. This show deserves to have one final season. Obviously, someone recently hit me up being they'd be fine with a movie. Once again, that's a conversation. I will always prefer episodes over having a movie, but this might be the type of show that they could. Once again, I'm way more open with a movie wrapping things up than I would have been in the beginning. Like I said, still would prefer a fifth and final season over a movie, but if a movie's all we can get, I'll kind of live with that. I think there's enough here for you to wrap it up in a movie, but I definitely would prefer multiple episodes of a final season. But like I said, currently where things stand, this current series finale is the current series finale, but I do hope there is some way around this. Hell, once again, even NBC was the ones that gave us the timeless 2-hour finale. So once again, after that show got canceled once again twice. So I hope there is hope for Good Girls as well, because this is such a great and fun and amazing show that it deserves a proper resolution, So hopefully I'll be keeping my eye out on seeing whether or not any developments change, and I'll update you, as I find out, or maybe someone will end up updating me in the future about the circumstances of the show, and then I'll discuss it in another video. But yeah, for now, that's currently where everything stands. But really, that's all I want to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and good